Hey, what's going on everybody? Anthony here with Duke City Aquariums, and today I decided to do a really quick video just talking about all of the fish food that I feed all of my aquariums. This is a video that I've wanted to make for months and months now. I just never got around to doing it and then forgot about it and suddenly realized, hey, I haven't made one about food. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Really quickly before we do get started, I do have a quick little bit of kind of sad news. My red betta fish ended up dying a few days ago. After the fact, I did, or not after the fact, but during in his last days, I noticed he wasn't looking very good at all. Did a lot of research, found out that it was something called dropsy. And I didn't catch it on time. As many of you probably know, dropsy is pretty fatal towards betta fish, and I didn't catch it on time, and unfortunately he did end up passing away. So he was in my my 18-gallon planted aquarium. Now the only fish that are in there now are just a few algae eaters. So my plan is to take those algae eaters out, place them in the 20-gallon long aquarium that they were originally in, and then I'm just gonna completely take down that 18-gallon and start over. I have a pretty good idea about what I'm gonna do with it, so definitely subscribe and trigger the bell so you get notified right when that video goes live. It's gonna be really cool. So but anyway, with all of the announcements out of the way, let's go ahead and get started right now. Alrighty, so like I said, we're talking about fish food today. I do want to make this very quick because I have a lot of different foods to go over, and I don't want to go too far in depth into each one because that will just take forever. So anyway, I decided let's just go tank by tank and talk about what foods I feed, and then just so we're not talking here all day. So let's start with this, my 90-gallon behind me. The only occupant in there is my Flowerhorn Duke. So I feed him a few different things. I made a care guide a couple months ago. I'll leave that video right up here if you want to learn how I take care of my Flowerhorn. But in that care guide, I talked about the only food that I feed him is Cichlid BioGold Plus from Hikari. And that was true at the time. I only fed him that specific food 3 times a day. I've had him for a few months now, and he was taken to that food very well. So I do still feed that food, but I also incorporated a couple of other things. I started incorporating from Northfin. It's these tropical sticks from Northfin. These are very good for him, and also the Cichlid staple diet from Hikari as well. I feed him 3 times a day, 3 very small pinches of food 3 times a day, and I do 1 of each every day. And I've been doing that for the past 2 or 3 weeks, and I've noticed a considerable growth in his nuchal hump on his head and just growth in general. Very vibrant colors, and he's doing very well. So those are the 3 foods I would recommend as of this point, as of the release of this video, for anyone's Flowerhorn. That's what I would recommend. Okay, moving right along, let's talk about my 75-gallon Lake Malawi aquarium. I have peacocks and imbunas in that aquarium. Now, the very first thing that I feed is, again, another one from Northfin. It's this one here. It's the Northfin Cichlid formula. And if anyone is interested in any of the foods I showed today, they will all be linked in the description down below, so you can go check those out if you want to. I feed that food. It's very good for especially the peacocks that are in that aquarium. However, like I said, there are some imbuna as well who definitely prefer a more veggie diet. So therefore, I also incorporate some sinking Cichlid Excel from Hikari. And this is more veggie matter, and it's a lot better for the imbunas in that aquarium. So I do feed a mixture of both of those just to keep all of the fish happy and healthy. After, I put that tank together after doing a lot of research, and what most of the research said is it's recommended to not mix imbunas with the peacocks. mainly to keep the peacocks and haps together, and then also keep imbunas separate. I decided to go against that, just I guess kind of do my own experiments, and they've been like that, imbunas and peacocks in the same tank for a few months now, and everything's going great. So it worked for me. I'm not going to say it'll work for you, but it worked for me mixing both. I just had to adjust the diet for that aquarium to accommodate all of the fish, and they all seem very happy. So those are the two that I feed that aquarium. Now, if any of you have watched my last couple videos, there's been I added a few new fish to that tank. One of them was a ruby peacock, and he got beat up pretty badly almost immediately right after I added him. So he has been in, I have, I don't know if you can see it, but right behind me on the table there's a small 5-gallon quarantine aquarium, and I've been, he's in there after he got beat up pretty bad. I've been nursing him back to health. I was using Melafix at first, and then after doing further research, I switched him over to Aquarium salt from Fritz. They're A+ aquarium salt, and that's been going very well. But for him, what I feed is another one from Hikari, this sinking cichlid gold. I feed this one to him twice a day, and he really likes it. Even though he's not very healthy, he's still pretty beat up, but he's slowly getting better, and he's also eating, which is a good sign. And he's been really liking this sinking cichlid gold. It seems to be working out for him pretty well, and I'm hoping he can make a pretty speedy recovery in that aquarium by himself, no stress with the salt and all that stuff. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for him. Okay, moving along to the 20-gallon long community aquarium. In there I have some neon tetras. I also have a female koi betta fish. I have some amano shrimp and some bristlenose plecos in there. Now I do feed that tank a couple of things. I feed it, one is these micro pellets from Hikari. This is one of my favorite foods that I feed to that aquarium. It's they work out so well for smaller fish like the neon tetras, and the betta fish in there actually eats that same thing. So I don't have to feed her anything separate like a betta food and then feed the neon separately. They all eat together, and these micro pellets work out very well. I'm very happy so far with that, and they've been eating those for probably 8 months now, and there's been no issues. Another thing, for the bristlenose plecos that I have in there, I have two. One's a super red and one's a regular. I feed them from Hikari these mini algae wafers. They're just your typical algae wafer from Hikari, but they're the mini size. They're very small, and they seem to work out just fine. I'll throw a couple of them in there, and they love them a lot. And then occasionally some of the amano shrimp will also jump on them too. So so this works out very well for those bottom dwellers in that aquarium. And last but not least was my betta fish aquarium. Unfortunately, I told you he passed away, but when he wasn't, I used to feed him this betta bio gold from Hikari as well, and he really liked that. He was the fish that I had the longest, actually. I had him for over a year, I think about 13 months, and that's all he ate was the betta bio gold. And then I'm still going to keep it on hand in case I get another betta fish for that tank or whatever I decide to do. One quick little honorable mention before I wrap it up. I do really like these Vibrabites from Hikari as well. These are awesome. They're shaped like bloodworms. They look like bloodworms. So I've actually fed the Vibrabites to the betta fish and to my my Lake Malawi aquarium as well. Everybody goes crazy over these Vibrabites. They're awesome. I don't think I've fed them to a fish that they didn't like them. So I definitely like to keep these in my arsenal, so just so I can have them on hand, because it really is a really great food. So anyway, that was a quick look at all of the food that I feed all of my aquariums. Like I said before, everything will be linked in the description down below, so you can go check it out if you want to. If you have any of the fish that I currently own and you want to check out one of these, you are more than welcome to do so. So anyway, I think that will wrap it up for me today. Like I said, here in the next couple videos, I'm going to be redoing the 18-gallon. I think I'm going to take my shot at an aquascape type aquarium. I already have an idea in mind. It's going to be high-tech CO2 injection, and if it comes out the way I have it in my head, it's going to be pretty cool. But anyway, that will wrap it up for me today, guys. I thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we will catch you in the next one.